35,000 residents without power, that's customers. In Jefferson County, 58,000, Hardin County, 10,000, Tyler County, 2,800, for a total now, and this is going up just a little bit, 106,000 customers now without power all across Southeast Texas. But the good news is energy crews are already out there getting the job done, starting to restore power to some of our residents.
Yeah, they're staged and ready. There are a lot in the Houston area now making their way into Southeast Texas. And Judge Jeff Brannick telling us earlier from Jefferson County they had 10,000 utility workers there. In fact, in Texas, we had a lot that are now moving on into Louisiana because we have so many here. And so they're hoping to get the power restored here quickly, but of course to help those in Louisiana as well. And as Judge Brannick was saying, he got no calls for people to be rescued overnight, which is fabulous news. But the search and rescue crews are ready to go out today to assess the damage and make sure that there's nobody that needs assistance. The good news there, about 10,000 people evacuated Southeast Texas due to the mandatory evacuation orders and the approaching storm. So that was probably life-saving measures right there for a lot of folks.
And Tracy, we do have Judge Brannick, Judge Jeff Brannick on the phone with us this morning from Jefferson County. You just mentioned him. And Judge, you're on the phone with us live now on 12 News. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, Vanessa.
So, you know, we talked to you this morning in the early morning hours when this storm just passed through. Your words that we're using a lot this morning, your quote, "We dodged a bullet." Can you go further and explain that?
I'm absolutely ecstatic this morning, thrilled with our outcome. You know, after Harvey and Imelda, the TPC plant explosion, COVID, you know, our residents were due for a break, and thank the Lord we got it. You know, we've got about 75,000 people without power, and I know that Entergy pre-staged about 10,000 workers on their way in. I've had conversations with them this morning. They're already doing their assessments as of about 7 a.m. and hope to put the workers in there and get to moving as quickly as possible today. You know, we don't have any reports of roadway closures because of debris or down trees. We're not finding any down power lines. You know, I've got reports of people with older wooden fences blown over and aluminum carports blown down, but nothing significant. We found a few leaks at some of the public buildings like the airport. They're doing assessments on Ford Park right now, but we're not aware of any major damage, just power outages. And so I'm one happy camper today.
Yes, I think we all are sighing a big sigh of relief right now. Wow, what a difference 16 hours make, because we've been so nervous, hoping for the best, and we got, you know, a pretty good outcome, to say the least.
What a difference 20 miles makes.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You know, we keep saying this as well. We feel for our neighbors to the east of us, but for us here in Southeast Texas, we are very thankful because we've been through two major storms here recently, Harvey and Imelda, and you know, people left their homes this week, Judge Brannick, crying, not wanting to leave because they're scared or what they're going to come back to. They've just lived this nightmare over and over again, and here we were yet again with Laura. And the good news for those people, they got a break at this time.
We hope for a long respite from these storms.
Yes. Let's talk about the power outages. I'm looking at Entergy's website right now. Jefferson County currently with 60,000 customers out. Can you touch on again how these Entergy crews are out and about working right now?
Yes, I had conversations with Entergy this morning, and their president, Sally Rayner, had emailed me last night and told me about the 10,000 workers that they have pre-positioned to come in as soon as they're safely able to. And so they're doing assessments this morning. They'll be making assignments and bringing in the crews. They were stationed appropriate distances from the tropical storm force winds. So y'all will probably start seeing a lot of contractor electrical trucks around town. I don't think the Entergy power outage map is accurate, because I know some people who are shown as still having power that have personally told me that they do not have power. So I think the numbers
They are
greater than 60,000.
Yeah, they're starting to go up a little bit, I'm seeing. So it's updating itself. Let's talk about the mandatory evacuation that you've lifted for 10 o'clock this morning. Can you tell us what's behind that decision for 10 a.m.?
I think that one of the things that prevented some people from evacuating is their fear that it might be weeks before they could get back in to assess their property. And so I want the citizens to know that as soon as we're able to, we're going to let them back in to look at their homes. Now, there's going to be a bunch of them that may not have power for a week or so. And, you know, those individuals may come in and choose to look at their property and either hook up a generator or maybe camp out in what's probably going to be warmer weather in their homes. And there may be people that choose to go somewhere, a hotel or something, where they have air conditioning. So, but I wanted to give them the ability to do that. I'm not worried about what happened in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy in the Northeast, where residents really interfered with the operations of the electrical workers that were trying to restore power. I think that our citizens here in Jefferson County will be cooperative and allow them to perform their work in the manner that it's assigned to them. And so I just want people to have that freedom so that they can be confident that local government's not going to keep them out of their property for extended periods of time.
All right. Well, I'm sure a lot of people are thanking you for that this morning. Real quick, I want to touch on the Port Arthur seawall. Do you know yet how well that held up and how it fared?
It held up very well. You know, if the storm had been 20 miles to the west and it had come straight up the Sabine Neches waterway, we were looking at forecast storm surge of 15 to 22 foot, and you know, that could have overtopped the hurricane protection levee. But we saw, with it going into our east, about a 3-foot increase in water, and that's no problem for the hurricane protection levee. You know, until you get up to 16, 17, we don't have issues.
All right. Well, Judge Brannick, thank you so much for taking time out this morning to speak with us, updating your residents this morning. We appreciate you and all the work that you've done before the storm, during, and now in the aftermath. And again, we just want to reiterate to Jefferson County residents, the mandatory evacuation order will be lifted at 10 o'clock. Judge Jeff Brannick just saying he wants his residents to come home. Judge Brannick, thank you so much for joining us, and we will be in contact with you soon.
My pleasure, Vanessa.
Thank you. Bye-bye.